country is 38.7.
How absolutely stupid does that host look now? So I'm going to get to some footage from this heat wave in the UK, and then I'll get to some clips from Good Morning Britain a few months ago where they were downplaying the climate crisis. But first here, credit to John Hammond for calling this. I mean, it wasn't a random prediction. He did his job. He looked at the data, saw the trends, knew it was coming, and he also was sure to, or was clear in talking about how serious this was going to be, and not just giving in to the host here, joking about, oh, it's just hot weather. Yeah, hot weather that kills 1,900 people in Spain and Portugal. And I'm waiting on official numbers from the UK, but when you see numbers like this is not just hot weather. This is extreme weather caused by the climate crisis. And she tries to downplay it by calling him fatalistic. Oh, these meteorologists that just, they just read the science, read the data. So fatalistic. No, they are trying to discuss how serious this issue is and maybe trying to get you to take it seriously. The job of the news isn't supposed to be to lie to you, to downplay reality. It's supposed to give you the facts. Now, you can do that in an entertaining way, but you don't do that in a way that downplays the reality. So what the anchor there wanted him to do was essentially lie to people. Oh, it's just going to be, just some hot weather, breaking some records, no big deal, as opposed to telling people what was actually going to happen. To have someone like that host a news show is just remarkable. And it really isn't just, again, it's not just her fault. This is the media generally. This is how they operate. This is how they try to put on their show, try to put on happy faces, as opposed to telling people what they need to hear and educating them. So it isn't an issue just with the anchor. It's an issue with the way all these shows are produced. But let me get to some more data here from the AP. So the UK Met Office Weather Agency registered a provisional reading of 40.3 degrees Celsius, 104.5 degrees Fahrenheit at Coningsby in eastern England, breaking the record set just hours earlier. Before Tuesday, the highest temperature recorded in Britain was 38.7 degrees Celsius, or 101.7 Fahrenheit, set in 2019. By later afternoon, 29 places in the UK had broken the record. As the nation watched with a combination of horror and fascination, Met Office Chief Scientist Stephen Belcher said such temperatures in Britain were virtually impossible without human-driven climate change. He warned that we could see temperatures like this every 3 years without serious action on carbon emissions. This is the kind of information that people in watching the stuff at home, these shows at home, need to hear. Not sweet nothings about how it's going to be just a nice day for a tan. No, it's going to maybe kill you, and maybe you should be aware of that. And maybe in the process of doing that, apply pressure on your politicians to change how the entire system is operating. And of course, the media has to be a major piece of that. Without the media being the voice of the people, you have no real pressure on politicians. Now, let me get to some footage here from, I think it's from Sky News, just showing some of the devastation going on during this heat wave in the UK.
The London Fire Brigade has just declared a major incident in response to a huge surge in fires across the capital today. This is critical. The London Fire Brigade is under immense pressure. Please be safe. I'm in touch with the Commissioner and will share updates when I have them. London Fire Brigade simultaneously fighting this fire in Wennington, Greater London, and also another blaze in Croydon today. There are around 24 fires up and down the UK yesterday. There's also been another fire in Upminster in Essex today as well. Tinderbox conditions caused by temperatures exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. That unwanted UK record broken at Heathrow earlier on today.
We will probably see even more rainfall during the winter, so we'll be coping with more flooding in the winter. And we just got to get used to the idea that the climate that we had of the past is not the climate we have now, and is not the climate we're going to have in the future. It's going to be more extreme. We're going to have to learn to cope with that.
Oh, Bob, when we talk about climate change, we talk about hurricanes, extreme flooding, extreme droughts, and you think, well, that probably won't affect me. I'm looking at someone's house on fire in Greater London, and when you talk about climate change, well, actually, we talk about climate emergency now, and it is literally on our doorstep. That is somebody who probably woke up yesterday, was hearing about the record temperatures, probably thought, oh, I need to drink more, this, that, and the other.
All right, so I'm going to get to what Good Morning Britain was saying just a few months ago, but first here on these clips, what I notice about media generally, not just the UK, but this is in the West, when these events happen, these extreme weather events happen, it often is, depending on the outlet, is covered properly in the moment. And they bring in the discussion now, finally, about the climate crisis and how this plays into it. So that one guy there was talking about how, there's going to be torrential downpours, flooding, extreme weather is going to be the new normal. Good that this conversation is in there. People are becoming more aware of this and the need to address this properly. But once these events pass, it's like the amnesia sets in. They completely forget the importance of talking about this issue, of including the issue of the climate crisis into other topics when it comes to the power of corporations, of capitalism on this whole process. It's like when these events, pass, they completely forget and they never address it again until the next extreme event. And then again, they'll bring up climate change and never talk about it again. So this is an issue with the way the media operates generally. It's lacking in terms of long-term thinking. It's very short-term, what's happening in the moment. We're going to address that in a very narrow sense and not look at the bigger picture. So there really has to be a larger discussion about how, honestly, capitalism plays into all of this. And that, of course, goes into a discussion about fossil fuels and renewable energy. But by just talking about this issue, these extreme weather events in the moment and only addressing climate change in the moment and not bringing that into other conversations on your network when you have such a massive reach like this and all the resources in the world, all the experts in the world you could have on your show talking about this, it does a disservice to people to just talk about it in the moment and not bring this into a wide-ranging, long-term conversation about what needs to be done. But let me get to, before I get to the next clip, just quickly here, or a headline. UN warns extreme heat to be the new normal as wildfires spread across Europe. Again, it's important to understand this, as was mentioned in that clip as well. And also here from Zara Sultana, a Labour MP, tweeted out, with record-breaking 40 degrees Celsius plus temperatures now recorded, don't forget just 100 companies are responsible for 71% of global emissions. This is a capitalist crisis, and only system change can avert climate catastrophe. So it's good to see there are still some solid Labour MPs left. When you have someone like Keir Starmer leading the party, it can be easy to forget that this party actually has some people that understand what the problems are and want to address them. But now let me get to what Good Morning Britain was saying just a few months ago. So this is from back in April.
This Just Stop Oil slogan is very playgroundish, isn't it? It's very Vicky Pollard. It's quite childish. Just stop oil. I mean, come on, there's more to say than that, isn't there?
I would say that the answers are actually very simple. We need to stop new oil licensing, and that's all we're asking.
The problem I have is this idea that the one group of people have decided that they are the ones to save the world. And there's a certain po-faced, incredibly irritated, I'm getting it coming up in waves towards me here, like, how dare you question us because we know what's right. I'm going to glue my hand to some tarmac and then I'm going to be a martyr and I'm going to be a good person, while the rest of us can't get on with our day. I mean,
I just can't believe that that's what you're saying. The United Nations are telling us if we get to 1.7 degrees of warming, half of the population will be exposed to climate conditions that are unlivable. I don't think you are aware, and I don't think the government and the media are doing their duty to show how serious this is.
But
We're trying to uphold the science. The science is being ignored. The academics are being ignored.
Is it ignored? But we're not allowed to get diesel cars after 2020.
We live in a democracy, and it's not the right of one small group of people to tell everybody else how to live.
Well, if they're scientists and they know a hell of a lot more than you do, then yes, you should be listening to them, as was just proven by what just happened with this extreme heat. Just the level of pigheadedness, the absurd comments, this holier than thou attitude that Laurie Turner, that's the woman in the blue blouse there. She's trying to claim that, she's the one against these holier-than-thou activists that know better than everybody else. because they're listening to scientists and actually know what